Welcome to HumanityWins.net. Please read the important disclaimer on your screen. All of the content provided is for entertainment purposes only. It should not be taken as medical or legal advice. Please contact your doctor or lawyer if you require such advice. Thank you. The show starts right now. Hello, welcome to episode 60. We made it to 60 episodes from May the 27th of the year 2022. Today is a Friday. And today I already had another topic ready. I'm going to do that next week. But I wanted to interject this topic because unfortunately this week there was a shooting in Texas, very close to where I am. It's probably around 3-4 hours driving, Uvalde, and it's close to the Mexican border. And there was a shooting, unfortunately, and I don't want to take a morbid side to this. As I said, I'm going to take everyday topics and try always to end with a positive spin. I also want to try to explain to you what I feel happened. Maybe it's another side to the story you have not considered. So watching Alex Jones, and as I said, I fast forward or try to look for good videos out there, Alex Jones, Stu Peters, Mike Adams and others. And yes, you can find good stuff even in this alternative media that is becoming more like mainstream media every day, unfortunately. So we're going to watch the video. It's 4 minutes. It's from a longer 40-minute video. If you're interested in the shooting, in gun rights, left versus right, and all the things that Alex Jones wants to discuss, you might want to look at the full video. I thought what I want to discuss with you is concentrated in those 4 minutes. And I have a quite different opinion from Alex, but he makes a good point, and I'm going to use that to give you my feelings on what happened with this person, Salvador Ramos, and also how demon intervention works and how benevolent intervention works. Again, these are my feelings. This is what resonates inside me. I don't know anything at all. I don't know if I'm right. I'm just a crazy guy talking in the internet. So you decide if there's something to it. All right, so let's watch the video together, and then I'm going to give you briefly my opinions on how these demon interventions work and why these persons that do this type of shootings look very similar among each other. And finally, I'm going to tell you about my own experience with a demon that I already spoke about in a couple of episodes. This is going to be the episode I explain that situation completely. And then finally, how demon intervention works and how benevolent intervention works. We shouldn't be afraid to talk about evil. Okay, I'm not saying embrace it, but we shouldn't be afraid, because at the end we shouldn't fear that. Okay, because we are powered by love. So really, there's not a problem at all. This is not something that has to do with a morbid topic or anything like that. It's not the way I want this episode to go. This is just talking how this exists and how it's not going to exist in the future, because we're going to win and all those portals are going to be closed, and that's not going to exist. But in this reality, 2022 Earth, unfortunately, is still going on. So let's look at Alex, and let's start with afterwards my opinions.
Salvador Ramos, or in Latin, the son of Rome, more like the son of Satan. Doesn't matter if they're Caucasian, doesn't matter if they're Hispanic, it doesn't matter if they are black. They all have that same look, and they all follow the exact same MO. They all have the same criminology behind them. His friends say that he began to self-harm several years ago, began to get into the occult, began to become a Satanist. And if you ask what organization or group was behind this, or if he acted alone, he did not act alone. The Bible talks about the mystery of iniquity, the mystery of evil, and how this evil force takes people over. And if you pull up the image of the famous Night Stalker, Mr. Ramirez looks just like him in the eyes, all of it. And the same look is in the eyes of Adam Lanza from Sandy Hook, and the same look is in the eyes of Harris and Klebold from Columbine, and they're into darkness. They're into black cloaks. They're into Satanism. They are into destroying innocence. And so he killed his grandmother, Mr. Ramos, just like Adam Lanza killed his mother with the gun she'd gotten that he had illegally. And he went out to kill children, just like the left wants to abort the babies even after they're born and have passed laws in several states to do it. Just like they want to give us all these poison shots and injections. Bill Gates says he wants to depopulate you, but he wants you to take these shots. He wants it to be forced because he knows best. This is easier than even putting 2 + 2 together and saying it equals 4. It is prima facie, meaning on its face, that there is an epidemic of psychotic mass shooters because it didn't exist until what we saw with the tower shooting at UT back in the 1960s, with the Marine Corps sniper that they learned at the autopsy had half his brain was a tumor. And then all he knew was the training as a top marksman in the Marine Corps and became basically a robot, a demonic robot. And it's still extremely rare. Only a few hundred people die in schools each year. More than half of that is gangbangers shooting each other. And when that happens, it doesn't even hit the news nationally. And there are mass shootings every weekend where 5, 10, 15, 20 people get shot, get killed. Hell, you saw what happened in Las Vegas, but when that got connected to Saudi Arabia, you saw that disappear out of the news like flipping a light switch off. Biggest mass shooting in U.S. history. So I'm stating the obvious here, but it is not the gun or the knife or the baseball bat that is killing these people. It is the evil minds. And so the headline today of the show is Alex Jones will exclusively reveal the organization and group behind this psychotic devil captured by darkness. And the name is Satan. That's the organization. That's the group. That's how this happens. And it's hard for people to believe this type of stuff goes on. But
okay, so I'm gonna, as always, include the link to the full video. It's in BitChute on the show notes. It's like 40 minutes. I honestly didn't watch it completely. I had to fast forward because there are subjects in there I truly didn't care about. I don't have a problem with guns. I have used guns to shoot at targets. I will never shoot at an animal, and I don't think I will shoot to a human being on this expression. As I said, I shared with you previous lives I had, and yes, I've done all of it, from very nice things, very good, bad, ugly, and very ugly. Okay, so I've forgiven myself, and I think that's the true story of karma, actually. Understanding your experiences and understanding why you shouldn't do some things and you should do some others. Okay, that's my feeling. Again, I don't know anything, guys. Please don't. There's no way to fact check this. If you have a difference of opinion or feeling, that's perfectly fine. Actually, please share it with me if you want publicly, if you want privately, if you want to have a talk. I'm very open to that. If you feel that serves you, make things work for you. So I'm gonna go on this slide very quickly because I don't want to present this on the screen more than needed. I took this from the video and I enlarged it a little bit. Yes, these two guys seem very similar. The one on the left is the Night Stalker, Mr. Ramirez, and the one on the right is Salvador Ramos from Uvalde shooting. So yes, they look very similar. Of course they look similar, and I'll tell you why, because both were intervened by demons, okay? And when that happens, even your physicality, I don't know how to explain it, change your look, look in your face, your what is called body language, okay? Body emotions, how they move and that. So you might see someone you know, okay? A co-worker, a neighbor, someone you see on the street that looks very similar to these guys. And it's quite possible there are really, unfortunately, thousands and thousands, and I don't want to say it, but millions probably, of human beings intervened by demons because they chose to, okay? And I'm going to explain that in a second. They chose to. So, yes, can they do something to me? Yeah, they can harm you the same way any human can harm you. Again, in this reality, your physical part, yes, can be ended, okay? And that's what this person, I'm not going to call him gentleman because there are limits to that. I mean, it was truly awful what he did, and there's a lot of karma to clear there for his future lives. But this person, Salvador Ramos, which, by the way, in Spanish, Salvador is Savior. I don't know if the demon wanted to make a point with that. Okay? So this person, he's going to have to clear a lot of karma, and the demon harvested his actions for his own needs or whatever. So I'm going to explain all that, but I'm going to take this photo out of the screen. So I want to share with you my own story, my only story with a demon, okay? So they usually act when you're alone. They don't usually, so people that are afraid to be alone in a house and that, there's something to that, okay? Because they usually act when you're alone. It doesn't work very well if there are other people around because they're going to notice you strange or, you know, acting strange. So also the way they are opportunistic, they are parasitic. They feel they have better chance to intervene you're alone, usually in a dark place, in a lonely place, in a quiet place, okay? So a few years ago, I had to take a business trip to Houston, Texas. Okay, it was a conference for my business, and it was only like 2 or 3 days. So I get there on a Sunday evening, let's call it. It was around 6 p.m. And the convention started the next day. I believe the first conference was 9:30 a.m. So I said, there was the NFL Sunday night. So I said, I want to watch the Sunday night and go to sleep. Have a shower and go to sleep because I need my 8 hours, even more if possible, 9, 10. Okay, so I need my sleep. And I really was looking forward to the conference. They were very interesting and they were helpful for my business. Okay, so so I go into a hotel. It was a mainstream hotel. There was not a problem with the hotel per se, and that's how portals work. Okay, it's very strange. In the nicest places there can be a portal. In the most horrible places there could be no portals. It all depends on the actions of what happened in that space, in that physical space. So I go into the room. It was a regular room. There was nothing wrong apparent with the room. So I go in and it's very cold and I feel this bad energy. Okay, I cannot explain it. It's not that I'm sensitive or special, not at all. But I could feel for many years now a lot of things that I couldn't understand. I understand them now, what I felt. Of course, I felt the portal. Okay, so why there was a portal in that hotel room of a mainstream hotel in Houston, Texas? Because something happened there. When? Maybe the day before, maybe a year before, maybe other people that they don't have that sensitivity. Again, it's not that I'm special, it's just sensitivity is like a knob, like a volume knob. A lot of people have it in 0, so they're gonna go and the room is perfectly fine for them. Okay, and for some reason the demon is not gonna want to intervene them, so they're gonna notice nothing apparent bad about the room. In my case, I believe because I have that sensitivity a little bit more than 0, the demon noticed and activated the portal saying, okay, we have something here, okay. So I go in, I feel this bad energy, the room is very cold. I thought the air conditioning was on. Apparently it was, but it was not at the temperature that it should feel that cold. So I turned it off and said, but probably not working fine. I feel very uncomfortable, okay? It's the word, I don't want to say funny, but uncomfortable. I almost decided to go to the front desk and ask for a room change. But I have to admit that I felt that they were going to say, what's the problem with the room? Is there an apparent problem, something, there's no water, no hot water, or something like that. So I couldn't explain. I just felt uncomfortable. They were going to look at me like I'm crazy. And so I decided to write it out. I said, it's going to be fine. So I started watching TV. I had to put blankets on. Really, the AC was off for hours, and it felt extremely cold. That made me extremely uncomfortable. I think the intention was to make me weak, okay, for the intervention. So I watch movies, then I watch the game, of course, then I watch movies and that. So we fast forward like to 2 a.m. The lights were on, the TV was on. I fell asleep out of pure tiredness. And the moment I fell asleep is probably, I don't know if it was a minute or 2 minutes before, I hear one woman voice in one ear and one kind of different woman voice in the other ear, and they say my name, okay, in a very seductive way. Alex, like, wake up was the feeling, okay? So surprisingly enough, instead of waking up and opening my eyes all afraid and shaking out of fear, I kind of felt, I think I was protected by a benevolent intervention as well. It was probably maybe my superior self coming from the future saying you need help in this situation. Maybe it was also some other ascended masters or a group of them. But basically the message, I don't know how to explain it, but there was a message in my mind saying don't open your eyes, okay? Don't open your eyes. I believe now there was an apparition there that was gonna make me more weak and more susceptible to the intervention by the demon. So I didn't open my eyes, and I was lying in the bed, so I raised from the bed, and everything changes. It was like showing the demon, I'm not afraid. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why I wasn't afraid. I was getting a lot of help from benevolent intervention. Again, it could be me from the future or some other ascended master, and a benevolent being, okay? So I raised from the bed, and suddenly, by the way, when I heard the voices, the lights went out, the TV went out, everything went out, it was pitch dark. So I could, even if I didn't open my eyes, I could notice there was no light, okay? So what I do is I raise from the bed, and everything turns up again, and the temperature room changes immediately to even warm, because I was under an artificial temperature room. It was not the reality. The reality was there was no AC for hours, of course, in a closed room in Houston, Texas. I believe it was September, October, even if it was that time of the year, it's very warm. So immediately felt the warm. And something in my head said, it's over. It's over. And yes, I didn't feel uncomfortable anymore. I didn't feel uneasy. I opened my eyes, the TV was on, the lights were on, the AC was off. So I turned on the AC. Actually, I had to take a shower to relax from the very warm environment of the room. And I turned the TV off, I turned the lights off, and I went to sleep like a baby. No problem at all. The only problem was the next day, because it was already 2, 3 a.m. And I had the alarm set for 8 a.m. to have breakfast and go to the first conference. I didn't want to miss it. And yes, it was a difficult day the next day out of tiredness, okay? That was my experience. So what I think happened there was there was a portal to the anti-universe created by an action or a series of actions that happened in the room. Rape, someone was killed there, even a family dispute, shouting, hating, judging, whatever violent, bad emotion, feeling, energy, action you can think of, that creeps up the demons from the anti-universe, and they open a portal saying, okay, we have something here, we have something to harvest, we have bad energy to harvest. Okay, and the portal stays even when the action goes. So if there's a murder there, the portal stays until it's cleared. And I, without knowing what I was doing, I cleared the portal, okay? Now I know that. I cleared the portal without knowing what I was doing, honestly. I was getting a lot of assistance from benevolent beings, but I had to put in the work. So that portal is clear. That room is not going to give any more problems to anyone unless another action happens again and another new portal opens up, okay? So that's how demons work. They work through portals. Usually it's in a physical space, but you also can open the portal yourself with your thinking. If you are having very bad thoughts, if you're acting very violent against others, you have a lot of rage, a lot of fear, you open your own portal. So that's why they say, and there's truth to that, okay, watch out, that if you watch scary movies, especially the ones that talk about air quotes, devil, Satan, air quotes, Satan, okay? It's demons, okay? It's just labels for demons. It's just labels for the anti-universe, for the evildoers. If you watch a lot of movies and that, and you think about them a lot, you watch them and you're not thinking anything, you're laughing, it's fine. But you watch them and you are there in your bed and everything is pitch black and you start hearing noises, it's you opening this portal saying, okay, I'm weak, come attack me. Is it making sense? You can never be weak. You don't fear them. They fear you, actually. But when you lower yourself to their level, then you are susceptible to them. Okay? So that was my story. I'm going to present the final slide where I explain this completely. So you might want to watch the screen if you're just listening to this. So we work with the left side, demon intervention. They work through portals to the anti-universe. Yes. And again, the portal can exist in a physical space. It can be a house, it can be a car. Watch out, because it could also be like something like a mattress, like a gift. If you like to buy things, in bazaars and these, how they call them, where you go, these markets, you buy used stuff, you don't know the origin of that, watch out, because there could be a portal there. It doesn't have to be a house, it doesn't have to be a hotel or a car. So the size doesn't matter. It could be a necklace, it could be a shirt, there could be a portal there. I don't know how it works, but that's the way it works. So what happens is you buy something on a bazaar or a market, on a flea market or whatever, you take it to your home, you're taking the portal there, okay? That can be cleaned, yes, of course, as this hotel room was cleaned by me without knowing what I was doing. I'm not special, I didn't know what I was doing, honestly. Again, I honestly cherish the support I was getting from either probably me as a superior self or other ascended masters. So watch out, please, if you like to buy stuff, just make sure they resonate with you. If you feel strange touching it and that, leave it, okay? Because there can be something there. It's very strange. And I don't know why they like mattresses. So if you're into buying used mattresses, watch out. There could also be new mattresses, by the way. But also, all of this could be fixed. Don't worry about it. Just, don't get in trouble unnecessarily. They usually make the intervention very easy. As I was saying in my story, they speak in your own language, yes, and it was a very seductive voice in my head, or in this case I was actually hearing it, but it could be in your head. I mean, by the way, you are the only one hearing it, so if you are with someone else and saying someone is speaking to me, the person is not going to know what you're talking about, because it's there in your vibration level, in your frequency. We all have a specific frequency level in the universe, okay? And that has been proved through quantum energy. So you have your specific frequency, so they actually tune into that frequency, and to everyone else, they don't know what is going on. The only thing you see is your physical changes or something. So in these demonic interventions, like the one in The Exorcist and that, yes, all of those things can happen. And yes, the person could look like a demon. Like these guys from the previous photograph we were looking at, they start looking like demons. They change physically. But that is a very deep demonic intervention, okay? It's because you allow it. And that's what I'm saying in a few bullets. It's because you allow it, okay? That doesn't happen very common, and that's the only reason is because you allow it and you actually made a pact with the demon, okay? So apparitions, yes, of course. I believe in my case, I was something inside me, in my heart, told me, don't open your eyes. Because then, if there was an apparition, it's very normal to get very scared, yes, very fearful. My vibration level would have gone down, and the intention was the vibration level to go up. So the demon is actually very afraid to you, and actually the way portals are closed is the demon goes into the portal to crawl into the anti-universe and closes the portal saying there's nothing here for us. I didn't like this very much. I don't like high vibration levels, so I'm going to close the portal. It's actually them closing it, not you. You don't have that power, maybe. It's scaring them in a way without hating them, because they are very afraid you are not afraid, okay? I hope it makes sense. They are very afraid when you are not afraid. They are very afraid when they feel love, when they feel high-level emotions, because they are not used to that. So they crawl into the anti-universe and they close the portal. So third bullet, they offer to put in the war for you. Of course, yes, that's the basis of a relationship with a demon. They say, I'm going to fix all your issues. They were probably, if I had, opened myself to that, I have problems like everyone, okay? So they were probably going to say, we're going to make your business ultra successful and you're not going to have to worry about money anymore and we're going to give you all the pleasures in the world. They offer that kind of things. In the case of this Uvalde shooting, let's talk about only this one, not other shootings. Apparently, this person, Salvador, he was bullied and he was, not treated very well by others. Okay, that's not a justification, by the way, to do something like this. Okay, definitely there's a demon intervention, but probably the demon said you're not going to worry about being weak anymore. You're going to be super strong through the energy I'm going to give you. You're going to be protected. You're going to make others pay when they make fun of you. Things like that. That's the thing they offer, okay? Might look like solutions. They're not solutions, by the way. They're pretty bad stuff. But that's the type of offerings. If you have financial problems, they offer financial problems. If you have love problems, they solve love problems. They say, I'm going to make the other person love you, okay? If you have health problems, they offer to solve health problems. They offer whatever. Okay, I'm not saying they actually do it, and you shouldn't be concerned because that's the wrong way to go about it. Okay, you put in the work, and if you have a health problem, and that health problem eventually ends you, killing doesn't exist. If that health problem ends your physical experience on this earth, you're going to go into another one, and it was supposed to happen anyway. So don't worry too much about that. Okay, we have a lot of implanted fear about our life ending, because even if we believe in religions, some way, somehow, people think it's the end, okay? Because that's what they can see, they can smell, they can hear. So again, the relationship to the senses and the brain. That's why I'm not anti-brain. The brain is a tool. Use it as a tool. Make it work for you, not against you. That's the way the brain and the senses work against you, telling you if you stop feeling things, you're going to be dead forever. No, not true. Not true at all. So they offer to solve your issues and play with your emotions and needs. Yes, okay, love problems, financial problems, whatever. They say, I'm going to fix everything. They play a very evil game because they don't even do it most of the time, like they did with this unfortunate person, Salvador. I mean, he's someplace else, okay? His expression has ended on this earth. He's probably going to be recycled into the matrix, and he has a lot of karma to clear, a lot of learning, Salvador. Yes, I'm sorry, Salvador, you're going to learn it probably through multiple lifetimes, okay? Because there's no way to clear what you did in this lifetime, in one lifetime. It's very difficult. It's a very deep learning of what you did, of not listening to demons, of not, letting your low-level emotions play you like that, of ending all these expressions, little kids, fourth-grade kids. It's awful stuff. He is going to have to clear it through multiple expressions, through the self-forgiveness and understanding of what he did wrong, okay? Okay, very important. We're in the 6th bullet. They ask something in exchange, usually sacrifice, violent acts, suffering. Yes, of course. That's how you know you're playing with a demon, okay? Okay, I'm going to fix all of you, Salvador. I'm going to fix all your things, all your suffering, all that bullying. But you have to do something for me. You have to kill some kids, okay? So that's the thing. You have to kill your grandmother. Awful thing. Sacrifice, violent acts, sexual abuse, suffering, defrauding, all of that. Yeah, I'm going to make you rich, but you're going to make others suffer, okay? Because that's the game, okay? They play like that. They give you something, they take something, okay? They harvest your axe for their own nefarious needs and to feed their black goo that keeps them alive, and alive air quotes, because they are also going to go on forever. I mean, but they are in the anti-universe. They are there. They are in negative ground, negative energy. And through the use of their black goo, which is a battery, that battery has to be recharged. And the only way to recharge that battery is with sacrifice, with violent acts, with suffering from benevolent beings. Because some place, someday, 2 years ago, 4 years ago, 10 years ago, Salvador was a good benevolent being. He became a bad being maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, when he was intervened by this demon. Again, these are my feelings, guys. I don't know anything, okay? Very important. They fear you, don't fear them. I think that was what worked for me. And again, I got a lot of help. It's not that I'm special, okay? But the moment you don't fear them, they cannot touch you. They cannot touch you, okay? And very important point, they worship shortcuts and they offer shortcuts to you. Okay, so Salvador, I'm gonna make you super powerful. I'm gonna, destroy the lives of everything that bullied you. Shortcuts, all shortcuts, okay? So if you wanna be successful, if you wanna be strong, you have to put in the work, okay? If a demon says, I'm gonna fix everything for you in 1 second, that's a shortcut. They love that, okay? And they offer that, and they say it's gonna be an exchange. Yeah, killing, whatever, okay? They make it sound like it's nothing to you, and you're gonna be protected. Probably this person, I'm very sure of it, the demon said, don't worry, they're probably gonna kill you, but you're gonna go into another place that is the anti-universe, that is great, and that. I don't think they can achieve that. It's probably gonna be recycled into this error matrix. It's gonna be in a waiting pattern, for a while, and he's gonna be recycled into a new birth here on Earth whenever that happens. And he's going to have to do a lot of learning. So all the promises from the demon, I'm sorry, they are not going to come, okay? Demons trick you. They love shortcuts, okay? So we go to the good part, the right part, okay? Benevolent intervention. They work directly in the universe through the power of love. And again, the word intervention is not right here. It's benevolent assistance, let's call it. But I had to, just make it good and bad, okay? They don't make the intervention easy or apparent, although some people do report easy, clear, benevolent interventions. For example, David Icke. The first time I appeared on Waking the Future, we were speaking about David Icke, and I said one red flag for me is that he says there were voices in his head, and that they make the information very clear to him. Okay, but after that, I got a couple of people that I truly resonate with me, saying, that can happen. It's not a common law with benevolent intervention, but some people require it that way. Okay, so I'm not saying anything bad about David Icke. But the benevolent beings that are actually assisting him with this information, they believe he needs to get it that way. Does that make sense? I don't know. But that's what I understood from that. So it can happen. However, please look at bullet number 3. Maybe bullet number 2 is not so important. But bullet number 3, they never offer to put in the work for you or solve your issues. Please be careful. Please be careful. Because if you get intervened in a way and they say, don't worry about it. Don't worry, you're special. You're special. You don't have to do anything. We are going to solve everything for you. That's a red flag. Again, these are my feelings. You decide. But that's a red flag to me. And I put it in red. Be careful. Please be careful, okay? They offer guidance, assistance, love, support. Yes, that's what they offer. You always have to control inside what you do. Yes, they respect your free will. Demons don't respect your free will. Benevolent interventions respect your free will. Same as God. Because really, we're all a copy of God. And they behave that way. They respect the laws of the universe. They can solve your issues. That will break balance. Why you? Why not Africa? I speak about Africa because it's exhibit A of all the imbalances in the world. I mean, there are around 10,000 kids a day in Africa going to bed and not waking up the next day because of hunger. So for me, if we could make a list, okay, and say, this is the new world, let's make a list. Where should we start? Please, Africa. Because that is the worst thing. And really, I'm sorry if my voice breaks a little bit, but we cannot have that. Come on. So think about how a benevolent intervention will work, saying, okay, I'm going to fix your issues. So I do have the power to intervene, which they don't have, because that will break balance, that will break non-interference. It's a rule of the universe. They cannot intervene directly. Demons do that because they don't respect nada. Demons don't respect anything. Demons don't respect anything. So they don't understand that. Also, the universe, what? Non-intervention, free will, karma, balance? I don't know anything about it. I don't care. That's why they have their anti-universe with their own rules. But that is not allowed to exist here with us. It has to be through portals, through shadows, through It's very difficult to understand. They are physically here, but they are not physically here. They are just, it's like a photograph, or it's like a copy, shadow copy, okay? Bad copy. It's really, that's why everything they do is demonic, dark, awful, because it comes from the anti-universe. It's a bad copy of a reality, okay? So they're always available to speak to you through breakthrough science, wisdom opening, and other methods. Yes, whatever you want. Just clear your mind, few seconds, then if nothing apparently is going, just say, I want to be connected. That's the key word. I want to be connected. And you're going to start feeling funny in your head, because that's where the message is. That's the antenna, physical antenna. And I refrain from using, I'm going to say the word, the pineal gland. Yes, that's the way, okay? That's the antenna. That's why the system wants to calcify your pineal gland through fluoride and other methods, chemtrails, and water and everything, that stuff they put in water and all of that. They want they think that the antenna is not going to work, but still, even calcified, it works. Maybe not as good, but it works, okay? So everything they try, chemtrails and everything, the vaccines, at the end, always love wins, okay? So whenever you feel like it, just ask to be connected. And again, you could be like David Icke, so it's going to be a very clear intervention. The only thing I should ask you to watch out, please, is if you are offered that your problems are going to be solved, and that doesn't make sense to me. It's a benevolent thing, okay? Especially if they ask for something bad. Okay, watch out, because you always have the control to cut that, okay? If it's a demon that is intervening you, because they creep up and say, because they love to try to intervene good, benevolent people. As I said, Salvador, 2, 3, 5 years, whenever this demonic intervention started with him, he was a good kid, okay? Unfortunately, he died, or he left this expression, not a very good kid. But they love to do that. They're not going to go and intervene other demons. What's the point of that? They want to intervene good. They want to turn good into bad. That's how they work. Remember that benevolent beings love you and you just love them back. And benevolent beings hate word shortcuts. Well, they don't hate. They don't use word shortcuts, okay? No, the word hate doesn't have a place here. They don't use shortcuts. They appreciate balance. They appreciate we all have the same fair chance, and we have to put in the work to whatever needs we have, okay? So I hope you enjoy it. I wanted to put a different spin on this story, why these things keep happening in the world, why I get asked a lot, why the kids, why doesn't God show up for the kids? The reason is in this episode. If I didn't explain myself, I'm sorry, but the reason for that is in this episode, because God works on the right side of your screen. Cannot intervene directly, cannot solve things. He couldn't come down from source and stop Salvador shooting. He couldn't, okay? This breaks his heart, I'm sure. And all the benevolent beings watching break, but they cannot intervene because they're not like the demons. The demons don't respect the rules. The benevolent beings have to respect the rules. When is this going to end? When these portals stop, because we don't go and look for shortcuts anymore. We respect the laws of the universe. There are going to be no more Salvadors, and the demons are going to close all the portals and go open portals in other worlds that are still evolving, okay? So all of this bad is going to go. Yes, I'm sorry. I know it sounds like New Age BS or, la la la, positive guy, forever. No. Believe me. All of this is going to end on the left side, on the gray text is going to end when we don't look for shortcuts anymore, when hierarchies are gone, when we don't want to be king of the hill, when we don't want just to think about ourselves, to solve our issues, we don't care about others. Everything is about you. But then when everything is about you and you are strong enough, everything is about what you do for others. Okay? And it's not what Salvador was thinking. He was full of rage and hate because, okay, yes, I'm sorry, he was bullied and mistreated. But that is not a justification to go and look for a demon or accept the intervention of a demon and do what he did. But that's going to stop. There are a lot of demonic interventions. Actually, the evildoers are demons, okay? That's the basis. And you notice I refrain from use the word devil or Satan. It's just a label. It's just a label that has religion implications. No, there's no real Satan. There's no real devil. There's just the demons. Okay, they don't have a name or whatever. It's just they want to picture this guy called Satan that is the anti-God. And no. There's only God. There's no Satan. There's the anti-universe and there are demons. Okay, and the only reason is because they are confused. They want to come back to the light. They're in the darkness, but they're confused. They don't know the way. So it's going to take 1 trillion years, 1 trillion years, or whatever time is necessary, but all of these beings are eventually going to cycle into the light again. They're going to put all in the world. They're going to have to clear so much karma that really makes my head spin. and they eventually gonna become ascended beings as well. Okay, so that's the path of the universe, and God knows that because He has already seen that. Okay, He knows the destiny of the universe. That's why He's calm in a way that, you know, all of this is gonna go in the right direction eventually. Okay, so I hope you enjoy this. Please stay for the last 2 minutes of the show. That's where I give you a few suggestions if you allow it, and you honor me by giving me your time. I appreciate that. And if everything's okay, I should be back with episode 61, May the 30th on Monday. Okay, have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself, relax, enjoy your family, please. Family and friends, enjoy them. Thanks. Please stay for the last 2 minutes. We want you on the show. Send me an email to hey@humanitywins.net to schedule an interview. Help me out by making the show more interesting, fun, and knowledgeable by having you on and giving our viewers the opportunity to learn from you. Thank you for making it to this part of the video. This is my favorite part. This is where I suggest to you that you discover yourself. You are not what you have been groomed to believe. You are this incredible being without limits that has eternal life, amazing strength, infinite wisdom, and a big, beautiful heart. All your limits are always self-imposed. Your best version in this reality is inside you. Your only mission on this life is to become a beacon of love and guidance. This version is ready to be discovered today. How do you discover yourself? The discovery process is a personal one. No one can do it for you. Dedicate 5 minutes a day to talk to yourself and the universe. Request to be connected and ask, who am I? Where do I come from? You will start getting signs, breadcrumbs, and signals. You will notice how your notions about those realities start disappearing. No more hierarchies, no more competition, no more complaining, no more depending on others. Discovering yourself equals to breaking your matrix. Your self-imposed limits will fall, and you will be ready to serve humanity and help break this spell and deception on us. But you must be patient to allow others to wake up at their time through their own free will. That will be really soon, you will see, and that will start a new world. As you work towards your best version, you will notice how all emotions don't serve you anymore. Hate, fear, rage, pride, loss, envy, violence, justice, true violence, judgment of others, and other emotions will disappear from your mind and heart. You will understand those emotions serve only the evildoers and are not you. Please try to be understanding of others that don't think or feel like you. Everyone has a process. No one is right or wrong. We're all just different. Don't be concerned about being right, ever. Don't allow pride preventing you from patching things up with family and friends. It is very important you enjoy this life with your loved ones. Put in the work to patch things up and leave it to others to decide. Please relax and enjoy life. When everyone breaks their own matrix, humanity through our community consciousness will break the final spell. The new world will start and everything will gradually fall. Governments, hierarchies, and the medical and financial system will go from scarcity to abundance for all. Thank you very much for watching. Please share this episode. If you have any comments or suggestions, please use the comment section below. For private questions, conversations, and if you would like to appear on the show, please email me at hey@humanitywins.net. Please be sure to check out our friends from Waking the Future and their awaken-attire.com shop. They gave me my first opportunity to speak about this and I will be forever grateful. Link to their channel and shop on the show notes. Thank you again. Please don't forget to visit our website www.humanitywins.net. By giving me your time, you honor me. Have a very, very, very nice day.